right, good morning, everyone. We've got a long agenda, so I want to go ahead and call us to order this morning. Can we start with a roll call, please?
Adams.
Here.
Berlin.
Here.
Carrier.
Here.
DeCiani. Eckhoff.
Here.
Hart.
Here.
Henry. Here. Mendrick.
Here.
Rutledge.
Here.
Selman.
Here.
White.
Here.
All right, great. We have a quorum. Nothing under chairwoman's remarks this morning. We have no public comment.
No.
All right, I'll take a motion to approve the minutes of our regular meeting Tuesday, August 9th.
So moved.
I'll do second.
All right, we got a motion and a second. Any comments, questions, corrections on these? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, motion carries. Next up on our procurement requisitions, first item TEP 024322. It's a recommendation for a contract purchase order to import for our ERP system. This is from November 13th, 2022 through November 12th, 2023 for a total contract of $215,562.98. And this is a sole source item.
So moved. Second.
I do have a quick question.
Yes,
I'll be
please.
brief. Is that for all the modules that are contained within the Infor system?
That's correct.
Any other questions or comments on this item? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Next up, TEP 0244-22, a recommendation for the approval of a contract purchase order to Gartner Inc. for, these are subscriptions for our IT leaders and leadership team. It's a total of $88,322, and this is also sole source.
Second, I'm sorry. So moved.
We're all trying to-
Jumping ahead this
All
morning.
right, I guess, all right.
And one final question
Second. Yes, please.
on this one. Is this like a library of information? for
It is. So essentially, it's access to a global organization that does nothing but provide advisory services to IT organizations. So they provide training, they provide review of RFP scopes, review of our contracts. They have subject matter experts that we don't have, so they kind of extend our bench. So when the new technology comes out, they have experts in their field that we meet with to talk about the new technologies and how it could potentially impact our environment. I think overall it pays for itself. Because they look at things and especially contracts, and they'll say, hey, have you guys thought about this? Or, hey, I think you're missing this section from this particular contract. From that perspective alone, it pays for itself.
Excellent. It's much more than I thought just in the brief description. So,
Yeah,
excellent.
and it provides a endless, you were saying endless inventory of white papers. So we have documents we can go to that we may not have in-house, and it gives us all the details about a particular service, particular company, or particular product.
Excellent.
So we never had that before.
We did, well, we had it last year, so this is their second year. Yeah.
All right, good questions. Any other questions on this item? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, motion carries. Next up, TEP 0246-22, a recommendation for the approval of a contract purchase order to CDW Government. This is for annual maintenance and support of our Veritas net backup software. Contract goes from September 24th of 22 to September 23rd of 23 for a total of $46,038.69, and this is bought via the cooperative purchasing agreement.
So moved. Second.
All right. Any comments, questions on this item? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Carries. Next up, TEP 0247-22, a recommendation to a contract purchase order for AT&T Mobility for annual licensing and maintenance of our AirWatch mobile device management system. This is from July 1st of 22 through July 30th of 23, a total of $34,860. And this is exempt from bids because it's under $35,000.
So moved.
Second.
Comments? I know, the 7:30 ones are hard. All right, any comments, questions on this item? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, next up, TEP 0248-22, a recommendation for the approval of a contract purchase order to Kara. This supports our GIS system. It's from September 1st, 2022 to August 30th, 2023 for a total of $39,500, and this is a sole source item.
So moved.
Thank you, Member Rutledge, a second. All right. Any comments, questions on this item? All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries. Next up, TEP 0249-22, a recommendation for the approval of a contract purchase order to PSR Incorporated. This contract goes from September 11th, 2022 through September 10th, 2023 for a total of $48,304. This item is also sole source.
Second.
All right, any comments, questions on this item? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, next up is a change order, TEP 091A-22, an amendment to resolution TEP 91-22. It's issued to SHI International for some further support for our new Zendesk customer support solution. So it'll increase the contract by $4,800 roughly for a total of $53,978.97.
So moved.
Second.
Right, any comments, questions on this item? All right, seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, next up, item H 2022-71, a recommendation for the approval of a contract purchase order to Insight Public Sector. This is for our Know4 software awareness training system. This covers a period of October 30th, 2022 through October 29th, 2023 for a total of $25,824.
Move approval.
Any comments, questions? We all know this. This is our making sure we don't click on bad emails and other such training. We've all seen that. All right, all in favor? Any opposed? All right, next up, very excited for our IT projects update. Anthony, go ahead.
Thank you very much. Good morning, everyone. So we have quite a few updates to provide to you guys today. I just want to remind people that IT has an exhaustive list of projects going on right now. Some operational in nature, some more enterprise level projects that touch multiple agencies or departments. I'm going to focus mainly on the enterprise ones and not the operational ones that we do on a day-to-day basis. But if anyone has any questions about those projects, just ask, and me and my team are available to answer questions related to that. All right, the first one is the one I'm sure everybody's ready to hear about, and that's our website redesign project. So we have made tons of progress since selecting a company by the name of Redesign to provide our design of our website. I think that you will be you will enjoy basically the new design that we've developed. So this is what we've done so far. Number one, we've created a home page and secondary pages, and we're ready for approval. We meet with our executive steering committee on Wednesday to get their input and approval on those pages. I'm going to show those to you in a second. We've also completed a sitemap and done analytics for our new website. Sitemap is almost like an architectural drawing of our website. It allows for our designers to map out our website without creating it first, right? So they have a drawing, a sitemap of it, and then they can create it based on the sitemap. And we're moving on with content migration, which was one of my initial concerns, but we've done well. So departments are reviewing their existing content, they're eliminating some old content or revising things. We have a due date of September 6th for people to complete the full review of their existing content, and then we take it from there. We listed the 4-year solution here. It is something that we haven't made a decision on, but it is a possibility for us to create a way for individuals who are looking to submit a FOIA to do it online. So, and it's an electronic process that we're looking at. Haven't made any decisions about that, but it is a functionality that it will be a new functionality and a new concept for us to submit FOIAs electronically. We have some custom applications that were built by a web team. That team is doing a good job of preparing to move those applications over to the new revised site. And we're also working on integrating with our new IQM2 replacement tool that allows for us to manage our resolutions board agendas. It's called LedgerStar. And we're working with that organization, Granicus, to work on the integration with the new website. So.
Can I have a quick question? So granted, I just have a little, I rail about all the agendas we print, but this is how I keep my notes because our meeting calendar system is impossible to make notes on the fly on that. So that would be my question and request is some way that people who are actually logging in somehow would be able to take notes like through the meetings so we can finally get rid of the $200,000 a year that we spend in paper.
Yeah, we can do it that
Sure,
way.
absolutely.
So Legistar does have that functionality. And you go with this Legistar, you'll have a site that you can log into, take notes on agendas. They're not visible anywhere but to you.
Yay.
So during meetings, you'll be able to bring that up.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, they made, thank you.
That would be a.
What was your question, Joanne?
It depends what they say.
Oh,
That'll
boy,
be
oh,
something
boy.
to figure out when we
If
start.
you're gonna
using it.
add them to a public website in any way, shape or form, my
It'd be
question
like
to the
in your
state's
private
attorney
account.
would be.
It's not a public web.
It'll be private to.
It'd be like
to the
your
person.
private account that saves a copy.
I'll get back to you on that.
Thank you.
Yeah, that would be
Any other
wonderful.
hopes and dreams you wanna put to the universe and the others set up for it? All right.
And I'll talk a little more about Granicus. Wendy is the lead on that. We're doing a good job of.
You can be as green as me.
Yes. Well done, Grant.
Thanks.
Good, then you'll support my solar initiative this afternoon, won't you?
So the last item on this one is watch items. The main thing we need to watch is just approval of the design. I think we're there. I believe that the committee will like what they see. Hopefully you guys will too, and they'll approve it and move forward. If not, then that may delay our launch of the new website. Next slide. So I'm going to show you the proposed design, starting with the main website and just walk it.
Seriously, it's awesome.
Walk you through it quickly. Okay, she's bringing it up. While she's bringing it up, so I'm going to show you the main website, the department website, and then elected official website. So there's 3 different designs that we have and that we've created.
That's not what it looks like.
Is that the whole
Okay, wow.
All right, so see if you can minimize it slightly. But essentially, this is the new design
Zoom out a little.
of the website. There it is. That's a little bit there. So this is just the first landing page. And Wendy will scroll down in a second to show you more, but essentially,
It's an image.
oh, is it an image?
Yeah.
Oh, you can't scroll down. Okay. You can still scroll down.
Yeah, I
You
can
can't
scroll down.
minimize it. So a couple of things to keep in mind, go back up for a second. So a couple of things to keep in mind here is that we went with best practice, and in most cases, websites are designed based on the organization and how they're structured. We're no longer doing that. We're basing it on how customers see us and how they come to look for services within DuPage County. So the headings are just placeholders for now. We have the ability to change them if necessary. But right now, for instance, if they want to come and find out more about DuPage government, they go to government. If they're residents and they want to find out about services related to residents, they go to residents. If they're businesses and they want to do business in DuPage County, they go to the business section. And if they just want to visit because they want to see some of our great sites within DuPage County, they go to visitors. On the right side, which you can't see, there it is. Okay. All right, is how do I? So if they want to do none of those things, or they're not sure about what they want to do, how do I is a drop down of all services they potentially could search on. And even if they can't find it then they go to the center, which is a big box now that we have, and a lot of new websites have. I'm looking for, what am I looking for? They can type it in, they can find it very quickly. They can do that all within seconds of hitting the website. And that's the goal, right? Is for them to get to the website, get to the information that's important to them. The new design is very different, very unique. The picture, in most new websites, they have what they call a billboard design, which is a big picture that covers most of the page. doesn't do much for people who come to see it, right? So it looks good to the website owners because they're showing some great property or some great landscape. But for the visitors, it's just frustrating because you go there and then you have to scroll down and find what you're looking for. Now they don't have to scroll at all. They hit this page first. They can find what they're looking for and do a quick search if they want. If that isn't good enough, they can scroll down. And the first thing that we have listed here are really the sites that they go to the most. Right now, these are the big hit items. We can change these as necessary, but pay my taxes, adopt an animal, court services, election information, human services, and watch meetings are the big hits. So we have the big hits for them. So if they can't figure it out in the first section, I'm sure they'll figure it out in the second section and basically get to the information as soon as possible. Please going down, keep going down. There's a section for the latest news and also a calendar for either meetings or any special events that we have. And you can click those dates and then it drills down to more information for that particular event or that particular day. This section is a feature content, so there may be elected officials or departments who have special things going on. We'll be able to add that there. This is just and this can change.
Just to highlight, for those of you who worked with me on creating a billboard, Gwen and I worked together on the senior scams billboard that's up there now. If we're having an event, if we're having a shredding event, if we're having, you've often seen those billboards that roll across our website. This is my vision for what that content will be. Things going on that we want to make sure our website visitors see, and we have the opportunity to add better art, basically. Photos, better art, hopefully. And those will be changed out, just like our website billboards are now, periodically, seasonally, event-wise, etc.
So thanks, Joan. And let me say this, I didn't mention this earlier, but I'll mention it now because Joan reminded me. It's been a great collaboration between communications and IT. Joan has helped us lead a lot of the sessions, lead the design of the web pages.
So if there's something you like, it's communications. If there's something you don't like.
All right, this is also a section heading where we can highlight something as well. The second to last portion of the page, I think you all will be very interested in. We are creating a new transparency portal area for data, right? Any data related to the county, whether it's GIS mapping data, whether it's a request of public records, whether it's crime information. We're gonna build this out, and where we want transparency, that's where they go for it. So I even see the diversity and inclusion information going there as well. So a great place for transparency as an organization that people can go to, and it's one place for them to get all of the information and data that they need.
So who decides what goes in that section?
The committee for the most part. So we're gonna pitch it to the executive steering committee, and they'll help guide us on what should go there.
So you've scrolled through all of these screens.
Yeah.
Will there be links at the top that you could just directly
Yeah,
go
it's at the top. We
to?
jump past it because see at the very top. So
Okay,
yeah,
got it.
that does a lot of that.
Yep, and then if you click like residents, that would take you to all your questions if you're an unincorporated resident, and then the business, so it's the same sort of
cool.
thing.
Yeah, and a lot of the main sections will remain the same no matter where they go. So they can get back to that information quickly. All right, can you switch to the department one? I'm gonna go really quick on the next two. We're on the first update. I think I have 8 or 9 more to go. So this one, very quickly, this is the department page, very similar layout as the main page, but you can basically configure it to your department, contact information, related pages related specifically to your department is what we add here, and content related specifically to your department. The news and latest news information is there as well that they can get back to.
Will that be the news? Will that be department specific, or are you going to keep that so it's just countywide and it's
I think that's department specific. Debbie, are you on?
Yes, you're correct. It's department specific, and we can turn it off if you don't use news because most departments don't.
Oh, interesting. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, so there are departments like the care center and not the, the care center who has their own bits a lot, right? So they post things. Animal services is a big one. So.
James, oh.
Yeah. All right, and this is the elected official? Okay, this is elected official one where the elected official, of course, will have a photo of themselves and similar sections and similar information, but it's still configurable to a certain degree for them so that it has what they're looking for and their twist and touch. So very high level, this is where we are with the website redesign.
Yep.
So we're in, yes, sir.
The translate button up top, is that using Google Translate?
It is.
Okay.
Yeah, it absolutely. Thank you for pointing that
And
out.
just 2 cents, where you've got the buttons at the top, I'd like to see community services be like number 1 on that
Okay.
lineup.
We can talk to.
I think that's more traffic than taxes or adopting animals or.
It might be good to ask Mary if human services is the best title. I don't know if people recognize.
Human
that's the
services.
thing that
Yeah.
helps me.
We will,
Maybe they
yeah.
do, so.
Yeah.
Mary would
And we're also doing that based on website statistics.
Okay.
know where people go.
Oh,
Yeah,
interesting.
those are
All right.
based on websites. So, but we will ask that question. Mary is part of the steer committee, so we can bring that up and bounce it off. I'm gonna go quickly with some of these other ones. I didn't realize I'm running out of time now, 9 minutes. At a very high level, the IS World property tax implementation is going well. We're making tons of progress now. We're at 60% done. And we have a new go live date. I think when we met last, the go live date was in July. Working with the treasurer and other business entities, we decided to move it out. It just made sense, gave us more time to cross the T's and dot the I's. We've added a 4th data validation period, which is also always a good thing. So there was originally 3 included, and now we have a 4th iteration starting in September that we'll go through. We'll go through the data to make sure it's clean and updated and correct. So right now, the focus is on functionality and user acceptance testing, and there are demos and training also currently in progress. The only watch item we have here is just making sure that we move the UAT forward. We've been doing that for a while, and we're doing a thorough job. We're doing a good job. So there's a lot going on in that area, but we have to make sure that we move past UAT in order to focus on some of the other important items. But I think the Tyler property tax implementation is going well. Madam Treasurer, you can tell me if it's not.
So far, so good.
Okay. All right. Then we talked about Granicus Legistar before, so I won't spend a lot of time, but basically it's our IQ M2 replacement. We're on track for launching it sometime in the fall, maybe November timeframe. But we've done a lot working with the State's Attorney's Office and with other stakeholders like the board office to test things and move this forward. But we've made a lot of progress, and we're essentially on track for implementing it in a few months. Right now, IQ M2 is, knock on wood, working well for us, but there's very little support for IQ M2. So it's very important that we move over to Legistar, which is fully supported by Granicus. IQ M2 is no longer fully supported by it. Okay, cybersecurity, we've done quite a bit here. We created an action plan to address some findings that came out of the Beasley Insurance Company's cyber liability insurance assessment. We've addressed 90+% of those items in partnership with the clerk's office, clerk of circuit court's office, and with the sheriff's office. So we're working in partnership to complete that. The big one here is that we are rolling out a client called Tanium. Tanium will basically let us know every single device that touches our network, what's on that device. We don't look at data, we don't look at any private information, but we know that it's there, which is important. We know what's on our network and whether or not that device is patched and secure. So that's a big, huge thing for us. We rolled it out to 1,500 workstations, and Joe, I think we're trying to hit about 2,500. About 2,500. So I think that's really good considering there are a lot of devices that are at home. There are a lot of devices that are on shelves right now not being used. So we won't ever get to the full 2,500, but that's a very good number for us to know what's out there. So and it also touches any device that connects to our network. We're able to see that device, whether it's a workstation or something else. All right, and the big watch item there's that, yes, no problem. Our renewal is coming up, so we have to finish all of the items that are on that check, the assessment. So we have to finish those things for our renewal to hopefully keep our premiums in check. Here's a big thing too. If you all haven't noticed, we've implemented this new appropriate usage notification to let people know that we have sensitive information on our network, CGIS and HIPAA information, so they have to agree to play nice and do the right things, right? It helps us from a liability standpoint. We cannot take credit for the language. We have to give that all to the state's attorney's office, who implemented it for their organization, and then we took it and decided to push it out to the rest of the organization because it really protects the entire DuPage County organization and protects them from doing something they shouldn't do. All right, Zendesk is a tool that we recently implemented. I want to highlight this one. A lot of benefits to it. The biggest thing is that the former tool just didn't really, number one, the product is sunsetting. Number two, it didn't provide us with the structure that we need in place. We are aligning ourselves to a support framework called ITIL. It's Information Technology Infrastructure Library, and it's a set of best practices on how to support IT and an organization. This tool is built around ITIL, so it'll help us just in general do better things. So for one, it has a knowledge base, which means that not only will our techs be able to search for fixes to problems quickly, but also users can actually go to the knowledge base and fix some of their own problems, some of the basic problems. It also gives us access to a portal that gives them information or allows them to submit tickets. The biggest thing for us, it provides accountability for my technicians. So we know when they get a ticket, how long it takes them to resolve that ticket and fix it. That's very important to us, right? So we don't want things lingering for weeks or months and so on and so forth. Next slide. So here's, if you all haven't been there, this is how it looks. So either at the very top, you can submit a request without even thinking it. It is connected to our Active Directory. So it knows who you are right away. You can see right there. It says A. McPherson. I logged in and it knows it's me. So it knows who's submitting a particular ticket. It allows for you to type in whatever question you have and do a search. And again, you can find an article that says, hey, here's an answer to this. If it's not, you can actually submit a ticket. It helps them, it provides them information on cybersecurity, general IT support information, or anything related to Microsoft Office. Those are the three big areas that we always have receive questions about. So here's the statistics that I told you about. So it allows for us to keep track of ticket statistics, how many were created, how many are unresolved, how many were solved, how many were resolved in one touch versus multiple touches, things of that nature. So, and it also shows knowledge-based searches. Top requests, who are the top organizations looking for requests, what ticket channels are they submitting it through, all good information for us to provide better support. If we know who's submitting requests, what type of requests are they submitting, so that we can put resources and move those resources accordingly. All right, just a couple additional projects. I'm gonna run through these quickly. So ERP upgrade, we are looking at ERP solutions because in 2026, we have to move from the on-premise installation of Infor to now a cloud version, which is a completely new application. So why not look for a newer application, or we're looking for other applications to see what is the best fit for us. So that's what that is all about. B2G Now is our diversity and inclusion tracking tool. Done a good job of implementing, going through that process. The pilot is scheduled for mid-September, September 15th. This will help us track our minority, women-owned, and small businesses to see who is signing up and how they're connected to the larger companies. That's even before our diversity study is done, which is next year sometime. So we'll be able to start tracking now and keep track of those organizations and communicate out to them too, using this tool. OpenGov is a great front end for Infor and some of these, our financial applications. It's a add-on to like an Infor in the ERP system that's moving well. It's led by finance, so we'll provide a bit more of an update for you next time. Next slide. I'm gonna run through these quickly. We're working on a crime and police portal in conjunction with the board member Renahan and JPS committee. We have Sheriff's Office, RMS team all involved, and some law enforcement agencies as well. We're integrating RMS data, police records management data with GPS data. So with GIS data. Voice it, and we completed a voice and system upgrade successfully. You guys didn't know a lot about it, but it was big. An Excel permitting application we implemented, and it's going well. So those are the updates for us. Sorry, I had to rush through the very last minute.
But you had nothing to do, right?
No.
All right, any questions for Anthony and his team? Just excited jazz hands about all the awesome stuff you guys are working on, and I know we're all so excited about the website. All right, any old business? Any new business? Objection or